Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, Today we will take on as usual from the last week. Last week I could not attend this session for certain personal reasons, and today I am here. The others will join us very soon. In fact, we had little internet issues. That's why it took little time for us to start today. So we will take on from the last week. Any doubts anybody got, please shoot. I'll be here to answer them the way you expect from us. Taking from few common doubts which I have been hearing in the last 1 week from many candidates, one point which I would like to emphasize is this SSB, Service Selection Board interview, is basically on a personality assessment. Now, when we say personality assessment, we are looking for would-be military leaders. So today what are we going to see at the SSB? We are going to see you as the raw material which will become a finished product after the academy training. Right. So when you go to SSB, till that point it was study only. It was mostly the methodology or the pedagogy which is used is coaching only. However, once the coaching session is over, that is for your NDA and CDS examination or FCAT examination, there it's a syllabus oriented examination where you have to write answers to the questions. So you will always find there is one question and one answer. So exam means there is a questionnaire where you will be answering them, and if you give an answer very close to the textbook or the expected answers from you, you will get much more marks than others. However, that game is over for you. Henceforth, when you are preparing for the SSB, now this kind of methodology of learning and probably tutoring yourself is not going to work. It is going to be unproductive. That's the reason this SSB program is entirely different and unique from the other types of coaching programs. So the most common the terminology we use is SSB coaching. SSB coaching, everywhere it is seen SSB coaching. This is not going to work. This is not going to work, because SSB coaching means you are preparing for SSB as if you are going to face an entrance examination or as if you are going to go for an examination. So if you go with this mindset and if you start preparing with this mindset that we have to face questions and answers, or you have to pretend that I am a prospective officer in the making, but you have not changed from within, you are making a kind of facade, or you are trying to mask your personality and put the mask of your instructor or the coach. This is going to be a non-productive exercise, because then definitely we are not going to select you. So the selection board is definitely going to see through your personality. Selection board is going to see through your qualities which we are looking for, which are called as officer-like qualities, OLQs. Alright. Now, there is a question which comes mostly from everybody's mind. What is officer-like qualities? Is it different from a normal leader, or is it something special for a military leader? Definitely, it is slightly separate from a military leader and a normal leader, because if you are going to be a corporate leader, many qualities which we are looking in you is not actually required. Say for example, giving a simple example, courage. Really, courage is not required for a corporate leader, because the aspirations of a corporate leader is entirely different. You have to be successful in selling a product. You have to be successful to make that product the best selling product. Then you are a corporate leader in the making. But here we are not having such kind of a aspect. Here we are going to see, are you a military leader with certain qualities which we are looking for. Whereas the same point, courage. Courage is very important. Courage, if it is lacking in certain aspects, then definitely you are not going to be a very good military leader. And courage is also of three types: moral courage, mental courage, and physical courage. So there are three levels of courage which we are going to see through in you. However, certain aspect which is very interesting in this, because physical courage, that is somewhat trainable in nature. For example, you have a fear of the height. For example, say in a height which called acrophobia, you go up say 10 feet, 13 feet, we have a commando walk. On top of it you will be standing and walking through on top of it on a victory stand. So we are going to see how are you scared of the height, acrophobia. Suppose if you are scared in a height, definitely it is going to go against you because there is a question mark on your courage factor. But this particular aspect of courage, which is we call physical courage, this is highly trainable, because if I make you do same kind of experience, if I make you practice on the same obstacle 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, 99% you will be coming out of that fear of height. That phobia will slowly diminish. However, you look at courage on the other aspects, say moral courage and mental courage. These two are more embedded in your personality. Moral courage comes from your little genetical factors also, but more on the conditioning what happened in your life. From childhood, what kind of conditions you have gone through, how your personality has been molded, these are embedded in certain nature. So certain moral values which are embedded in your personality, that is not going to change. So moral courage is a factor which we say it is less trainable. So just giving one example of it. Now to give a general idea about these 15 qualities, we would like to say these 15 qualities are compared generally with the anatomy of a human body, right? So this is to give you a very simple example, a simple idea for your general awareness. So these 15 qualities which we look at as the anatomy of a human body, and we call it part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. Okay, there are 4 factors. We call it factors also. Factor 1, factor 2, factor 3. It is parts only, but we call it factors. Factor 1, factor 2, factor 3 and factor 4. Now look at the comparison with the anatomy of a human body. Factor 1, we say generally there are 4 qualities in that. We call it quality of the head, which means it is compared with the qualities which is inherently straight away from your brain capabilities and your speech capabilities. So that's why we call it quality of the head, right? Now there are 3 other qualities which we call factor 2. This we call emotional qualities, or you can call it quality of the feelings part of it. So we say these are the quality of the heart. Heart, because just poetically you can say quality of the feelings and compassion, right? Now factor 3 we have 5 qualities in that. These 5 qualities we generally compare with the torso of the body, where there are 5 organs, 5 qualities. This is basically to understand the whole concept. Now factor 4, we call it dynamic qualities, or what is dynamic qualities? The qualities which make you mobile in your life, how it is pushes you to move ahead in life. That is factor 4. So we call it and compare it with the limbs, your hands and legs. So these are the qualities. So the whole body is generally covered into 4 factors. Now to further go into little more details, I will not go into very technical language or very technical details, but to give a general idea about it, factor 1 includes 4 qualities which I said. They are effective intelligence, reasoning ability, third is your organizing ability, and the fourth one is power of expression, which is communication skill. Now let's talk about these four qualities. These four qualities are very, very important. However, in these four qualities, we analyze that the first two qualities which I mentioned, that is effective intelligence and reasoning ability, these two qualities are much more important than the other two qualities, because these two qualities are much more embedded in your personality. The next two qualities, organizing ability and communication skill, are highly trainable, which means when you go to academy, through our proper systematic training, your organizing ability can improve, your communication skill also can improve, monumentally it can increase. So this is why first two qualities we are giving more stress, that is effective intelligence and reasoning ability. Now, what is effective intelligence? To put it in a very simple word, it is your practical intelligence to get a work done. Simple. It is your practical intelligence to get a work done. Or you may call it a little bit more in detail, ability to get a work done in the most simplest manner, using whatever is available to you as a resource. With limited resources, how best you can get a job done, that is effective intelligence. In Punjabi, there is a beautiful word for it, jugaad. If you are a jugaadu, definitely you are much better than others as a military leader, because as a military commander, your effective intelligence is tested every day in your professional life. Right. Now the second quality, which is much more important, would be reasoning ability. Now what is reasoning ability? Reasoning ability, a logical mind, a good logical mind. So this is very important point, because we call reasoning ability as the mother quality, or you can say it's a fountain quality from all other qualities can emerge. That's why it's called a mother quality. ये आपकी गंगोत्री है जहाँ से पूरा गंगा जल निकलता है. So that is very, very important. So what is reasoning ability? Why it so is important? Because unless your reasoning power is not strong enough, your mind will not function logically. And if your mind is dull for any reasons, or you take decisions without having a logical touch to it, naturally you are a poor leader. Because many qualities which I will keep explaining, you will understand, many qualities which I am going to speak today, they all emerge from this mother quality. So that is also an embedded quality which we will be very concerned when we are going to select you at the SSB. That's the reason we have many kinds of tasks designed for you, from which we will derive to the right conclusion about your reasoning ability and logical mind. Right. Now the second two qualities which I told you, organizing ability and communication skill, that is power of expression, these are highly trainable qualities. So if your training is very good, naturally your organizing power also ability will improve. Similarly, your communication skill, training will make wonders for your communication, because you are every day you are doing it with more precision and clarity. In fact, 1 year of training is much more easily you can learn any new languages. In fact, for a German language, you come to the proficiency which you want to speak, it takes 6 months only, 6 to 1 year. In fact, even Mandarin, Chinese language, one of the toughest languages, you can learn in 1 year maximum. So this is a highly trainable quality, that is your communication skill. So this is the reason part 1, or the factor 1 of your personality is much more important for us. Now coming to the next qualities which I told, that is your factor 2, which is got 3 qualities involved in it. These 3 qualities are social adaptability, your cooperation or helpful attitude, and the third is sense of responsibility. Now this is very important thing. Now why this is very important, your factor 2 portion of your personality, that is these 3 qualities, because these 3 qualities will decide your character to some extent, and your feelings part of it, your compassion for others, your social adaptable factors, which showing you, are you a social animal, or man is a social animal. So how best you can adapt with the people around you, how best you can adapt with new environment in life. So the first quality, social adaptability, is very, very important for us, because in today's world, because of the kind of lifestyle the youngsters are going through, most of the families are no more joint families, they are all nuclear families these days, and one child syndrome, two child syndrome maximum. It has really affected the social adaptability factor of the child. Naturally, he's conditioned to be alone in life. He's conditioned not to share anything of his properties or anything which he's got possessiveness, belongingness. He got no, kind of environment to share. So the child normally becomes slightly selfish also. I won't say everybody, but this is a tendency which the society is breeding. Socially adaptable factor is generally missing, because most of the youngsters today wants to be in a comfort zone. You take them out from the comfort zone, you are like a fish out of water, you're not able to survive. So this should not happen. You should be like a turtle who is an amphibian, who can survive in water also, who can survive in the land also. That's the kind of adaptability we are looking for. Wherever you are going to be, you should be able to be comfortable, you should be able to enjoy the moment, and you should be able to get settled down with that new environment. Which means how best you can get mixed with the society, how best you can get mixed with the people around you, how best you can adapt to the new environments in life. This also is a very important factor for a leader. Very, very important factor. So this is also we are going to see in detail in your personality. Now coming to the third one, reasoning, the sense of responsibility. We call it SOR. This is also a very important factor, because again, with the social milieu around you, the social environment which is breeding the youngsters today, there is a general tendency to be casual. Today, being casual is style. It's a fashion statement to be casual. Torn clothes, unkept hair, unkept way of looking at things, no punctuality in life, self-discipline, not much these days. Nobody is bothered. So social, this SOR basically is a sense of responsibility and a sense of duty, and also a self-discipline, which we can be exhibited as we call it punctuality in life, and sticking to your own promises which you have made for yourself in life. So if you are a person who is normally casual, who is normally in a relaxed situation, who got no sense of timings, who got no sense of others' timings, which are adjusted along with your timings, you are not the right person I am looking for in the armed forces when you come there. So that is the reason a very good training also is important. That is how when we do the training also, we put in a lot of effort to punctuality, your discipline, your dress discipline, power dressing, the way you exhibit yourself, and your etiquettes and manners, everything is being taken care of in our training program. That is why this is different from all other coaching programs. That's why we do a leadership training. Olive Greens is known for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, so this factor, which is factor 2, which I told you right now, this is very important, because all these 3 qualities which I mentioned, they are not highly trainable qualities. These are generally embedded in your personality. That's the reason we generally find that when we select youngsters into the armed forces, these 3 qualities, which we call factor 2, is mostly in a very diminished state of personality. So these 3 qualities we need to work on. We need to do a little bit of readjustment in our attitude, the way of thinking, the way you project yourself outside. So these are issues which we need to address right now before you start even preparing for the armed forces selection. So I'm happy now that now the next two portions of this personality, we will come back to you. We will definitely come in very soon. And I've spoken about these factor 1 and factor 2, and I would like Colonel Chahal and Colonel Gadok sir is with me right now. They will take it on the factor 3 and factor 4 portion of the personality which has been questioned here. Which there was a question.
So factor 3 basically derives a lot from what we talked earlier, because there are derivatives of your activities like taking initiative. Right? Who will take an initiative? A person who can think logically, a person who has got some awareness. Right? So therefore, initiative is one of the qualities which actually comes. So if you can connect with things, if you have awareness, you're observant, you're logical, obviously the quality of initiative would come. Right? So your ability to work in a group,
Absolutely. How effective are you as part of a team?
Yeah.
That is what is being seen.
Your initiative, your ability to influence the group, your speed of decision.
See what happens in a group when you work in a group. There are three kinds of people. One who are dominant in a group. When kaisa bhi group ho, they'll always try and impose themselves. You generally find that kind of people. One who are a little mild and they keep looking. They're looking for an opportunity. Koi bolne de, na bolne de, fine. So they have an idea, but they can't be effective. The third kind is the one who's assertive. Who's an assertive person who can put across his viewpoint clearly with conviction. He doesn't get angry. He doesn't shout. He is democratic in nature. He gives others an opportunity. Right? So that is a person who is more effective in a group. We call it your ability to influence a group. So how do you influence it? When you can connect with others, when you are sensitive to others, when you listen to others. Also when you make logical points convincingly, you'll find others listening to you.
So we come to factor 4, which is basically your dynamism, as to what is the kind of energy level that you exude. So what is desired of you is a person who never ever easily gives up, a person who's always ready to take on challenges, and he likes to catch the bull by the horns. Those are the kind of people that we are looking for. And once again, that person is able to manage his stress well. To come under pressure or come under stress, everybody does. Whenever that you are in a difficult situation, in a challenging situation, everybody comes under pressure. But how do you manage that stress? That is what is seen in you. As also, we are also looking at people who are not really rash, who are people who are able to take calculated risks. So you have to understand the difference between being foolhardy and taking a wrong decision or being rash in their outlook, whereas what is expected out of you is to be bold but take calculated risks.
It is double, yeah.
Yeah. So like they say that it is good to fight and run so that you are able to fight another day.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of people that we are looking at. So that is what is the fourth factor, which is your dynamism. It got to exude a magnetic personality. You got to be charismatic. You got to be always full of positive energy. That is what is dynamism.
And your stamina.
Your mental stamina. See, the mind doesn't give up. The body works as long as the mind tells it to work. A lot of time people in difficult situations tend to give up very easily because they get stressed, they can't think clearly, they are not too energetic, and they give up very easily. So the dynamism comes from mental stress, it comes from physical, mental stamina, physical stamina. All those are cumulative factors. Then issue of courage, which is very, very important, which has got again two components, physical and moral. See, physical courage is that risk taking where you can take a reasonable risk without unduly putting yourself at great difficulty, but some ability to risk taking is important. But more important than that is moral courage. Fine. Moral courage where you can take a stand for what is right. We can stand up to be counted for your view. But that's an important part of moral courage, and a lot of that comes from your
sense of responsibility.
Sense of responsibility. Yeah.
So moral courage is, we say, not very highly trainable, but your physical courage is highly trainable, which we discussed. So while we look at all these qualities at the SSB, we would be more interested to know which candidate has got these embedded qualities better stabilized and organized in your life. Like suppose say your trainable qualities are not as per the expectations, trainable qualities, still we will give a thought, probably provided your other qualities which we call the core qualities or the embedded qualities, if it is generally all right, we would definitely give you a chance to get recommended, because trainable qualities can be trained in a better manner once you go to the academy. So these two aspects will be seen while we select officers.
Trainability is very important and interesting issue. So we're looking at your trainability, which of course a few things are fixed like your age, etc., etc. But a few important attributes of trainability come from attitudes. A lot of people who do well, they over time tend to get overconfident. They tend to get arrogant in their nature. Fine. So they're very good, but they lose out on trainability because they are somewhere close in the mind. They're questioning. They can't follow anything new. So that's where people who are more trainable are people who are more modest in their nature, who are more open, who can take criticism positively. They're the ones who are most trainable besides all other things. So trainability is the important thing which is added to your present level of your personality, and these attitudinal issues are very, very important there.
As also being self-aware.
Yeah, self-aware.
Very, very important for somebody to have a better trainability is that that person should be aware of his strengths and weaknesses so that he is able to work on those areas that need improvement. A lot of people, tell us when they come back from the SSB that, sir, I felt everything went well, but I don't know what went wrong. So that actually reflects upon your ability to be analytical in terms of understanding what went wrong, or it also reflects upon you being not so self-aware. So you got to understand what is expected out of you, and if you're not measuring up to that, what is it that you did so that you were able to reach that level? That is what is also self-awareness, and it forms a very, very important component of your trainability.
Yeah. So self-awareness we talked maybe a week or two earlier also. So once again I'll highlight, because self-awareness is very, very important as you grow up in life. And how do you build up? Because we very often limited by our own picture of ourselves, right? So you need to be always constantly evaluating yourself, introspecting yourself. Be very open to any feedback, any information that you get from your close ones, parents, friends, because at times a lot of information is there in terms of some comment or which we just about overlook, right? So we need to be curious about inputs and also be open to sharing your thoughts and ideas with others. That builds up self-awareness.
Can we just hold a second? We're not getting any questions here. What is that? Probably that button that we haven't kind of pressed.
Anyway, maybe.
So, and then we've got to play this, yeah.
Question
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sorry.
It's all right.
Right. Now something is coming.
Okay, it's okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we would like to, put it in a nutshell, your awareness is also based on your general awareness. Your self-awareness is also connected with your general awareness, because the more you get knowledge about the world around you, the more you get knowledge about the people around you, the more you get to know your existence and where you are existing and the whole environment, how it has been organized by the Almighty. Definitely your self-awareness will go up, and it is going to be the base of your personality. So this is how we keep telling all of you, just don't get into reading and studying for SSB. It is not going to work like that. You have to change your lifestyle, get into reading habit, get into speaking habit. You have to improve your vocabulary every day. You have to gain more confidence to speak in public and to express yourself convincingly the way you want to convince, not that you think something you are not able to convince, or your speaking skill is not good enough. So these are all very important factors. That's the reason you will require a very good training, a concentrated effort to improve your foundation of personality and build up the required kind of military leadership over about it. So this is very important.
Please do ask questions so that we are able to take on some of the queries that you may have. So any kind of questions, please ask. It will be good to answer that.
A lot of people are a little confused as to कि जनरल अवेयरनेस में क्या क्या कवर करें. 3 महीने तक चलेगा, 6 महीने तक चलेगा, but they can see one has to take a little holistic view of awareness. It is not कि भी syllabus पे 3 महीने वाला है. It is about being connected to what's happening now in the country, outside the country, globally, geopolitics, and identifying what is important, most important for us, and that's what I should know, what I could know, what I may know, etc., etc., and then going into details of the backgrounds of the issues, studying a little bit more, because things are very dynamic. Every day things keep changing. So when you see the headline, it's something that you can start off with, uske piche kya hai? So it's very, very important to catch up with things, do a little bit of research on your own, look at the maps. So this kind of a knowledge keeps adding as you go along in life. You can't be SSB के लिए 3 महीने का कर लो खत्म हो जाएगा, ऐसा ना. It's a process of your self development that you must grow with.
Last few weeks we have been seeing a lot of candidates or a lot of aspirants are seeing the our live session and also afterwards also, but I find many are shy of asking questions. Please come out with your questions, because what we are finding in this new environment after COVID is most of the candidates feel that they will be able to face the interview board and do a much better job just by an online training sitting at home. The moment you feel that I'll sit at my home and through a screen you will be able to improve your personality, you will be able to give enhancement to your persona, it will be absolutely foolish. Let me tell you this. That's the reason we keep propagating that you need a proper military training inside you. You have to come here, wherever you are, you have to go through a proper training. That is the reason military training cannot be online training. If that is so, we would have trained officers at home only and directly taken them to armed forces. Is it possible? So please don't do that. Yes, you can pass the written examination by online training to some extent also. That also interactive session would have been even better. But for SSB preparation, it's a totally different ball game altogether. I keep telling this, it is like learning driving through internet. Simulator पे आप सीख रहे हो, फिर आप बोलते हैं हम चला देंगे, प्लेन भी चला दूंगा सिमुलेटर में सीखने के बाद में. It will be like that.
That may have some element of benefit, but not totally. See, when you do things yourself physically, when you perform in a group, so you yourself get to know where you're standing in a group. That's the most important thing, to know yourself, where you stand, what are your difficulties, and then you to work on your difficulties. Right? Process क्या है, कैसे होना है, it's not so difficult to understand. It's a very commonsensical thing. Anybody goes through, can go through the whole thing. But the important thing is to gauge yourself, gauge your potential through a crucible of activities in a group. So that is what is the benefit of going on a training which is live, which is very much like the conditions that you would have there in the selection center.
The selection rates in the SSBs have gone abysmally poor, especially after these COVID times. It is because of these many reasons that most of the candidates today, they are approaching SSB through online programs and getting trained, even GTO training also through online. So this is not going to work like that. You will be only imitating somebody else. You will be absolutely not able to perform as a desired candidate. The desired kind of standard is not possibly happening. Now, the candidates which are coming to us, mostly we are seeing they already gone through online programs and not made it. Then they are coming. So you are wasting your valuable time, your valuable, efforts, and you are maybe you get you get out of age limit also very soon. So please understand these issues.
Okay, Nitin Yadav has asked a question. He says, how can I write good stories in psych test with time constraint? Sorry, it is Nikita. Right, so
Nikita has spoken earlier also.
Yeah. Nikita, I think we discussed previous time as well. Now, to write a good story, where is the story going to come from? It is going to come from your own life experiences, isn't it? The story that you write is going to be from whatever experiences that you have had of your life. When you look at that picture, you will strike some experience that will come to your mind, and that will then get converted into a story that you'll be writing over there, isn't it? So to be able to write good stories, you basically require two aspects to be able to write good stories. One, you got to have vast, your reservoir full of experiences that you can pick and choose from, and based on the kind of stimulus shown, that you are able to write the story. You got to have great imagination to do that. And second is, which is even more important than that, is your ability to express your thoughts with great clarity on paper. So ये अगर दो चीज़ें if you're able to work on, firstly have varied experiences, have you are a person who connects with the real world well, you are very observant. When you step out, you are very inquisitive, you try and find out about how things are happening around you, and the more inquisitive that you are, the more experiences that you will gather, and then those experiences actually can be converted into some creative writing that you can do every evening. So write down whatever that you've seen today, put it down on paper, and try and improve your own writing skills now. Once you've written it, then you say, bhai, ye sentence ka syntax agar main aise घुमा के लिखूं, तो there'll be greater clarity of my thoughts. ये word की बजाय ये word लिखने से I'll be able to express my idea better. ये sentence मैंने फालतू का लिखा हुआ, I can delete this sentence. So if you are able to work on your own script and improve your written expression, that is the second thing that you can do every day. In your day-to-day life, all you have to do is gather experiences, express them on paper, and then when you're doing your practice for TAT story writing, the best thing to do is to always have a timed practice, always have a timer with you. So never start writing stories, picture देख के and 10 minutes में अगर आप story लिख रहे हो, that practice has no meaning. So you must have a timer with you and write it within those 4 minutes. And once you've written that, then perhaps you could refresh and start the timer again and try and write another story from the same picture by changing the role or changing the theme or changing the main character. And like this, if you're able to write 3 to 4 different stories from the same picture, naturally your imagination will become very, very fertile, and then you'll be able to write on any picture that is shown to you ever. So
I'll add to it. See, the time is very, very important. So therefore, also understanding the structure of making a story, because you have to be a little careful. The story can go endlessly. So observe the picture carefully. What the character is doing, what is the background, and those are the first inputs that you have. Ask questions. What could I be doing? Why should I be doing that? So choose a meaningful purpose. Purpose is a very, very important thing. What are we doing and why are we doing it? What do we achieve? So that is an important thing. And then the format of story writing, because you're getting 4 minutes, and in 4 minutes you can write about 10 to 12 lines. So 3 to 4 lines, maybe 2 to 3 lines is where you should give the background of the story. 5 to 6 lines of the main action, which should give detailed inputs of क्या किया, कैसे किया, the actions. The to-do list होनी चाहिए उसमें अच्छा, which should be connected, which should be realistic, which should be practical, and maybe 1 or 2 lines of the come of the story. So be careful when you write stories, time stories. Be careful about the layout of the story or the format of the story. That is also very, very important.
Nikita, good story. What is good story? Good story is the story which is connected with your life. when we read, the psychologists read, when we read your story, we should be able to see you in your main character, some reflex of you, some glimpses of your personality, we should be able to visualize and see in you. Then your story is good. By just writing a very good story, you copied from somebody or you heard from somebody else and you are replicating the same story again, that's not going to work. So the good story means a story which is connected with you or your experience in life, your own environment in life, something we feel that yes, certain glimpses of your personality is visible, which can only happen when you put yourself in the picture in the place of the main character. Then only this is going to happen. And how do you improve your imagination level? By observation, by understanding, by reading, by experiencing what is around you, by interacting with people around you. Many times, we don't interact with people around us. For example, we go to Sabji Mandi, buy sabji from the same person, maybe for the last 2 years, we don't even know his name. We never spoken to him. But if you started speaking to him, you will find he also got to tell you 100 stories, which is connected. Now you can put yourself in a situation and see if this situation if I am there around that particular issue, how I could have reacted. And connect with the practicality aspect of it, make it realistic, your story has come out. It's going to be a beautiful story.
So we have another question here. It says that he wants advice for GTO tasks, right? So now you have to understand that the GTO task is not merely patta balli business. You have to understand that GTO task is not monkey business where you have to go over those obstacles and you have to do all of that. So what is being seen while you go through those tasks is how effective are you as part of this team, and for which of course you have to work on your practical work sense. You have to come out with practical ideas, and people who are more outdoorish, who play games, who are who do things with their own hands, those are the guys who are able to have better practical work sense. But like we told you earlier also, that through these classes that we have here, we are able to kind of trigger those the practical work sense to an extent wherein you understand the physics behind those ideas. So once you understand what is the concept, how we are doing this, you will be able to apply your own mind and not our mind when you look at those obstacles when you go to the SSB. So therefore the practical work sense, the patta bali thing, you have to physically go through, and only then you will be able to take some tips from what we do here. But what is more important than that is the way you come across as a person in that group. So the GTO is very, very closely observing how are you interacting with other people, what is it that you're speaking, your speaking skills. Are you a person who's rigid कि जो मैंने बोल दिया वो पत्थर पे लकीर है, or are you a person who's carrying the team along? Are you sensitive to other people? If somebody else is giving an idea, are you a person who's encouraging and enabling other people in the group, or are you a selfish person कि मैं ही कर दूँ सारा कुछ? And as also how careful are you about rules, and how apt are you in using the, like they say in the army, sahi tool ka sahi istemal. So the resources that have been provided to you, how effectively are you able to use those or put them to the best use, so that you're able to come out with practical ideas and in a shortest possible manner. So that is what is all about GTO series. But then once again, unless you go through those as part of a team, you will not really know, because a group dynamics will get generated only when you are participating as part of a team. You may learn those patta bali tricks all by yourself, but unless you do that as part of the group, the other aspects of your personality in terms of how do you connect with others and how do others look at you when the activity is happening, that is very, very important. A lot of times a candidate who knows it all or who's effective sometimes can also be a little selfish. He can also be a little overbearing on other people, which naturally goes against you, and you many times say that sir मैंने बड़ा अच्छा किया था, I could do the command task in just 5 minutes, but I didn't make it. So it is just because of these small things that you have to understand, which you can only rather understand when you participate as part of a group.
To add on one point,
Okay, yeah.
just to add on one point, You see, you would have seen already that there are a lot of indoor tasks and there are a lot of outdoor tasks, right? Now, predominantly you will find indoor tasks are designed to see your imaginary mind mostly, of course along with other qualities, but the outdoor tasks are prepared and designed by us to see your executional mind, which we call practical mind. Okay, now which makes the holistic personality in the overall observation. So you have to think about both the aspect. Imagination also we need to improve. How do you improve imagination? By good experience, good reading, knowledge around you, awareness, general knowledge and current affairs. All these things are going to increase your imagination. Suppose say you are only seeing your Instagram or your Facebook or any other multimedia sites only. How are you going to improve your imagination? Because you would have seen it is mostly entertainment. And these days I keep telling vulgarity is part of entertainment. So what is happening? Your mind is getting stuck into just entertainment part of your whole world around, and you are blocked from the awareness part of it. Now that is one of the major reasons. The imagination level of the candidate which we see every day is very, very abysmal. You're not able to imagine, but seeing a picture, you're not able to imagine what is happening in that picture. This is happening because our reading habit is no more we are cultivating. Again, imagination के साथ में your awareness also should be good, because then only you will have maturity of mind. You will be able to connect with your age also. Otherwise, it will be childish. Your thoughts will be childish. अगर रिजर्वायर में ही पानी नहीं है, फिर कनाल में कहाँ से पानी आएगा? So your imagination के साथ में आपकी awareness भी improve करना जरूरी है.
Okay, there are a couple of more questions which we take on before we close today. One is from Shubham. How can I prepare for the interview? Shubham, it's an interview is it's called a personal interview or an evaluation interview, where the IO spends about 45 minutes to an hour talking to you about your journey of life. The basic information that you give to him in the PIQ. So PIQ that you write should be well written, it should be neat, clean, it should complete information. And whatever you have written, you should be aware of all that, you should be able to talk. Because you're going to ask questions on what you've done. A lot from the PIQ also. Right? That's one. Second, this kind of interview is more of a good conversation. So good conversational skills are important, sitting across the table and talking gracefully, listening carefully, answering in your own way. There's nothing very strict कि भाई ये line बोलनी है बोल आपने, क्योंकि you're going to talk to you about your work experience. He's going to talk about your education, the school, college की पढ़ाई में क्या क्या हुआ, studies में, marks, games, other activities, school, teachers, friends, etc. etc. So he's going to talk about your home life, who are there at home, what are they doing, your routine, etc., hobbies, interests. So basically he's going to talk to you about your own self. So I'm sure you would enjoy an interview if you're comfortable and have better presence of mind. Yes, besides that, awareness levels are important, because next question is also how much general awareness is important. See, awareness is not कभी there's a syllabus के इतना करना है. Basically, it is looking at a quality of curiosity in your mind. Are you a curious kind of person, or are you only concerned with the syllabus and question answer and passing examination? So that's the key. As you grow up, you need to be curious about things which are happening around you. So general awareness could come from talking about your sports and games, knowledge of that, hobbies and interests, what do you do, उसके अलावा उसके बारे में जानकारी क्या है, books पढ़ते हो तो उस वक्त और कौन सी books हैं. So that is also one idea of picking up general awareness. Second is what is happening in the world. That I told you something like a little while earlier. Also need to go systematically to choose what all could be important, relevant for me, because there's a lot of information on the world, a lot of things are happening. So you have to come out, filter out the most important things affecting India, affecting social life, geopolitics, economy, space, science and technology. All those things are important. In that, whatever is happening now, what is the background, why is it happening, what is likely to happen. Well, that is a systematic study which is not cannot be limited to preparing for 2-3 weeks. It is a process that you must build up for your life as such.
So one more question is
Yeah.
Abhinav, hello Abhinav. You said diary writing, is it a good hobby? I don't have any other hobbies. Now you see, diary writing is more an activity. If you are only writing what has happened today morning, what have you done? I had food today morning. I slept after it. I am going for a play, or I am going to see the movie. There is nothing in that. So diary writing, unless there is quality connected with that, it is not a hobby at all. So what invokes you to do diary writing? You may say, I learn vocabulary every day and I put it in the diary. My experience I share in my diary, or my general awareness, what is catchy, I am writing some quotes which of great men I am going to write the. So your general awareness should be the source of your diary writing. Just by saying diary writing is my hobby, it is not going to have an effect. What are you doing through the diary writing? That makes your hobby.
See, one important thing about diary writing is writing your experiences, not only for recording it, for learning lessons from that. You know,
Correct.
some things may have happened, may not have been very good for you, may not have been very pleasant. It's good to record that, analyze that. Why did it go wrong? Maybe you didn't prepare well. Maybe somebody else did something wrong. To resolve that, to talk to the person, make it comfortable so that you easy in your mind. Some things which have gone well, you enjoyed it. Still good to write it, record it, and analyze how did it happen. How was it successful? Fine. How can you do to improve it? Fine. So that is what lessons you draw out of the diary. How you make it benefit for you. That's an important. Just writing a few pages, a page or two, recording for the sake of history may not be very great idea. Diary writing is always used to pick up lessons and improve yourself.
Actually, one inference from diary writing could also be that a lot of people who are not very interactive with other people, who are a little introvert, so they tend to, write things in their diary which they are unable to kind of convey to other people, or they are unable to express themselves well with others. So just caution yourself, just ask yourself, I hope that you are not that kind of a person who doesn't like to meet people in real life and who's recording things on the quiet, and you could be an introvert person who is doing this.
A very interesting question from Saurav. He says, I have a doubt regarding TAT. Like, if we are writing good stories in an NDA entry, then does it show we are coach? I don't
What
know.
is a good? Firstly, what is a good story? You have to understand.
So
there is no good
just
or bad
before
story.
I've been talking about good story. What is good story? Good story is a story connected with your experience in life.
Yeah.
That is good story. So it is very relative.
As also,
It is very relative
As
in
also,
sense.
good story will show your level of awareness, your maturity level,
Creativity,
how creative are
imagination,
you.
fine.
All of that is a good story.
What
Good
should-
story
what should
does
that-
not mean the stories that you read in the SSB books.
Yeah.
Those are not good
You
stories.
pick up some good stories from the book and write it, that'll be coached. It has to be created there based on the stimulus given to you.
And from your
imagination,
experiences.
yeah, your experiences, your imagination, your awareness, all that will weave into making the story that you
As
make.
also structuring it well.
Yeah,
I mean, a
structuring
story
well, balanced,
appears good
yeah.
when it is structured nicely.
well, because
yeah.
10-12 line ki hai na, so it has to be structured within that.
You have to connect with yourself and your age. Otherwise, say you write a very matured story which you have copied from somebody or heard from somebody
Call
else,
it a good
which is
story.
disconnected with your age and your experience, then it is not a good
Okay,
story.
So one last question before we finish for today. It says, I don't have any specific hobby.
We just answered that.
We just answered. Now, there's nothing got to be specific. It's things that you like to do in life and build upon that. I mean, it could be painting, sketching, could be music, could be photography, could be reading, could be cooking, could be gardening, could be whatever you like. Just build upon that. Start liking it more, learn a little bit more about it. It'll grow, right?
Ask
So,
yourself what you like to do in life. Connect with your likings. So you think and what gives you happiness and pleasure, but it is creative also. It should not be an addictive thing like habit. Don't call hobby and a habit. Hobby is to be creative in nature. It is add on to your creativity. So do something which gives you happiness, and like diary writing. Diary writing, if it gives you happiness, but it should connect with other things. Let me tell you about this. Diary writing has helped me a lot. I am from a local school in Malayalam, in Kerala, from a simple Malayalam village school, and through diary writing, I really improved my English. I used to learn 25 to 30 words every day, And I used to write in the diary every day, and I used to make sentences. I have learned its simple grammar, which is verb, or how you connect with the verb, and how past tense, present tense, past participles, and all these. I started understanding the grammar through learning new words and how to connect with the sentence. So, if you ask me, diary writing helped me a lot. It is really going to help you if you take it seriously. It's going to help your communication skill. There is no doubt about
Sure.
it.
So with this, we have come to the end of this session. Today time is over. We'll meet you again next Friday, same time, 12:30 to 1:30. Do join us up, and let's have some more questions. Let us have more discussion, so that it helps you to improve yourself, helps you to face the selection board with more confidence.
Please ask more questions too.
Thank you very
More
much.
than listening.
All right. Thank
Good
you very
day.
much. God
Bye.
bless you all. Bye bye.